Hey everyone, welcome back to the Alphabet with Avacyn Guardian Angel. I am your host, Rachel, and this time we are adding in Stronghold, the second set in the Tempest block. Today we don't have a major update, not like the past two of three sets, but it's an update nonetheless. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. So with Avacyn, the first thing that I want to do is I want to point out that we're bringing Divine Transformation back in, partly because I want more power. I just want more power to put on some of these bodies to help Avacyn push for commander damage. So Divine Transformation back in, it's kind of like the bigger mana rocks where you play with it for a little bit, you see it do some good things, then you take it out, and then you think, well, I kind of want this back in, so you do it and you bring it back in. Because one of the rules for this alpha build is that just because something's got, been removed, doesn't mean it's not ever going to come back. You follow the link down in the notes, show notes, no, description, description below the video, you see that I have a link to the current list on tappedout.net, and I've got like a list up there for every edition, so you can see how the deck evolves and changes on a pseudo timeline, something like that. So I have this. It also includes a maybe list, a maybe board, and this is the first time that it's actually gone above like 10, 15 cards, just because we have some extra stuff that they're good cards. But I want them on hand in like a toolbox type thing in case the meta shifts or our needs change, which they will as different cards become available. So right now, one of our needs is power. Divine Transformation is back in for that. So going straight into the new cards that we're going to get, this is the big one for me. Warrior Angel. She's a 3/4 for 6 flying, and she has triggered lifelink. Call that Spirit Link. Whenever she deals damage, I gain that much life. So that's going to screw me over if I need that life gain on like an Alpha Strike, but because it's a trigger, you'll die before you actually get the life. It's not lifelink. But that's still alright, and it's part of the reason why I want the Divine Transformation, because this is a body that, it likes augmentation. It likes you to add things to make it better. She loses a point of power that the dragons have, the Pearl Dragon and the Alabaster Dragon. Double Dragon. But life gain is not something to scoff at, especially when she punches someone for 3. You get back 3 repeatedly. She's a good defense because they can't really just throw stuff at you because that's still free life. So this is something I'm actually happy to have. Next card in the list, Soltari Champion. Really cool tech. 3 mana 2/2 Soltari Soldier. It has Shadow, so the creature can only block and only be blocked by other creatures with Shadow. And whenever he attacks, each other creature I control gets +1/+1 to end a turn. I definitely want at least one Shadow creature because, it's essentially unblockable. I don't see anyone else playing Shadow creatures unless they're like Soltari Gorillas or something like that. And the Soltari Champion has a relevant secondary ability. We've seen other white Shadow creatures in this set, but this is the only one that I felt was really worth playing up to this point, because he's a pseudo anthem on the attack. That can buff Avacyn, that can buff the other cards, and we're very slowly getting that creature count up. I've actually had to replace 4 creatures in this current update just because sometimes we're still in that age where the spells are better than the creatures, and sometimes trying out new creatures means trying them out over the old ones. So speaking of trying out new ones over old ones, we ended up cutting the Sunweb for a more different wall, one that I like much more. Wall of Essence is a 2 mana 0/4 with Defender. But whenever Wall of Essence is dealt combat damage, I gain that much life. So we have 2 more ways to gain life, Wall of Essence and Warrior Angel. So that might make up for the fact that we no longer have the Ivory Tower to combo with the land tax. Man, that's a really good combo in something like a cube or a 60 card format. But in Commander, you really need the tutors in order to pull that together. And Ivory Tower is something that would be better in a deck that naturally drew a lot more cards. We have some ways to get a good amount of cards, but they're not consistent enough to make Ivory Tower it's not worth it to make Ivory Tower a consistent source of life gain. So that's Wall of Essence. I was talking about power. This is another instance of power. Sword of the Chosen. It's a 2 mana legendary artifact. You tap it to give target legendary creature +2/+2 until end of turn. Now, this is for equipment. Equipment doesn't come around until Mirrodin, which is still a few blocks away. Sword of the Chosen, though, in today's era of design, with this exact same templating, would be flavored as you, the player, are using this item, and you could use it to pump your commander, something like that. In this art, you see Selenia, the Dark Angel, wielding it, and that's, let's see, Selenia was a 3/3 for 5, so with that sword, she actually becomes a 5/5 for 5, and that's pretty decent. With Avacyn, though, it turns into a 3-turn clock, so I'm actually fine using this to pump her up. It gets a little bit political if we use it to pump up someone else's commander. And we still have other legendary creatures that we can use to pump this up. We could use it on Orm if we really needed to. So our Jabari is still here. Remember that we don't have Rashida Scalebane. We're not playing the Griffin. So those are our 3 targets right now for Sword of the Chosen. And lastly, Scapegoat. It's a 1-mana instant, and it has additional cost to cast it. You have to sack a creature, but you can return any number of target creatures you control to their owner's hands. So I'm going to try this out as just kind of a Wrath insurance policy. The Mistmoon Griffin is cool and all, but it's restricted to saving the top card in your graveyard, which means that everyone actually has to just click through what order their cards in. So that also helps with the timing issue of, hey, maybe time is a little, an issue, and those seconds do add up. So we're just going to go ahead and try that. And that's really all it is. It's just, those 6 cards. Let's see. I believe next time we'll have Portal's second age, and there's a few things to check out there. But we're entering a part of refinement where, again, they're going to be smaller updates. We'll get a chance to see some of the stuff that we've added in the previous sets. So let's go ahead and jump right into it.